Hi, folks. John Chambers here. I'm in the process of setting up a podcast. It's a learning curve for me, and I'm just trying to find my way around how all it works at the moment. I'm using Audacity to record this, and I've actually had to learn how to use Audacity and all the ins and outs of putting one of these things together. Some of you might know me through Twitter or from my book, A Belfast Child, which is a book I wrote about my experience of growing up in and around the Troubles during the worst years of the Troubles. It's doing fantastically well, which I'm obviously delighted about, and being received really well, and the critics seem to like it. The reviews are outstanding. So good that you'd think I paid for them. I haven't, I swear to God. The purpose of this blog is really just to tell some stories and funny accounts that didn't make it into my first book. And what I'm planning on doing is just covering a wide range of subjects and topics. As I say, this is my first attempt at it, and it might be my last. It depends how it goes and if people like it or not. But this is a story that me and my mates, we still laugh about decades later, and it involves me and a local legend called Alec Higgins. My granny and granddad, they had seven sons, and some of them grew up in and around Alec Higgins, so they kind of were familiar with him and knew his family and that. The stories about them playing pool and that with him in the jam pat and all those other places. Being a Belfast boy, obviously, he was a hero of mine, as was George Best. And I grew up a massive fan of his, and I still remember him winning the Masters. It was 78 or 79. And also, I think he won it again in the early 80s. But he was a local hero, so we all loved him, so we did. Funny enough, years later, when I was in my teens, I was 15 or 16, and I got a job in the VG on the Woodville Road. My sister got it for me. He used to come in all the time. He was a friend of one of the owners, Howard, the owner, and I got his autograph once. So me and Alec Higgins did have a bit of history before this account, which I'm about to tell you about. So what actually happened was my grandmother, God bless her, rest her soul, she died. And because of family connections or whatever, Alec Higgins came to the wake. It's a typical wedding, Irish, Northern Irish wedding, funerals, baptism. There's a lot of drink involved in that, so we're all drinking a lot. So we were, I think it was in Sandy Row or somewhere, I can't remember. We were all drinking and that. But I'd been in London, by that stage, I'd been in London for many, many years. And I'd got a weird accent. I mean, my family used to slag me off, and my friends, when I went home, they used to call me English John, which really used to piss me off because I can't see, I can't tell that I've got a different accent. But when I go home, people often comment on my accent. I think part of that is when I moved to London, I was working in a very sales environment atmosphere. So when I first went over there, people automatically assumed I was a terrorist because of my Belfast accent, which really pissed me off, mind you, and a Republican terrorist, which is even worse. But what actually happened as I started getting into the sales environment, I had to train my voice because no one could understand me, and if I'm trying to sell you something and you can't understand me, I'm on a hiding to nothing. So I kind of picked up, I think, and mellowed out over the years. So I've got a bit of a weird accent, although I disagree with that. Anyway, so we're at the funeral, and we're all getting the wake after my granny's funeral, and we're all getting like rotten drunk, and Alex is getting rotten drunk. And then there was a talk of a party up in Glencairn the Shankill. And I'm pissed, so I am. I'm drinking gin like it's going out of fashion, and I'm swinging high and low because my granny's just passed away. But I'm with my family, and don't get to see them much, and we are just remembering the life and times of my poor granny. We were remembering and getting drunk. But I became fixated on Alec Higgins, and he didn't know me from Adam, even though he'd known some of my relatives. He didn't know me from Adam, and I got fixated on him. And the more drunk I got, the more I started annoying him. I was chatting away to him, but I was a bit starstruck, I think. But obviously, the drink, in my defence, the drink came into play here, and I bored the poor man to death. You know what I mean? I was just like taking all his attention and taking all his time up. And there was talk of this party in Glencairn. And I went to the toilet, so I did. And one of my mates came in 5 minutes later, and he's laughing his head off. And I says, "What are you laughing at?" And he says, "Oh, I've just been talking to Alec Higgins." And I go, "Yeah." And I says, "He's come to the party." And my mate laughed at me. He said he was going to come to the party, but he said there's some English bloke in there doing his fucking head in. He thought I was a fucking English bloke. Can you hear that? I was mortified, so I was. Anyway, that's my Alec Higgins story. Bye bye. Okay, that's the end of that particular little story. I hope you enjoy it. If not, don't tell me. As I say, this is a learning curve, and I'm in the very early stages of setting it up, and I'm just trying things out and seeing how they work. And I'm going to post this. I may regret it, but I can always take it down if I get too much abuse about it. But thanks a lot, and if you like it, please subscribe, like, and share.